California's top income rate is 13.3%, the highest in the country. Tennessee state's income tax is 0. If you're searching moving from California to Tennessee, that one sentence is usually why. But there's a lot more to this decision than taxes, and today I'm breaking down the real numbers, cost of living, property taxes, and exactly where in Middle Tennessee Californians are landing and why. I'm Jack Lerond, a realtor based here in Brentwood, Franklin, and Fairview, and I work with California families relocating to Williamson County every week. I actually relocated my own family to this area, and before real estate, I spent years in construction and design, which matters a lot if you're buying new construction from out of state and need someone who actually understands what they're looking at. If you're planning a move from California in the next few months, there's a link in the description to grab my free California to Tennessee relocation guide, or just reach out directly. Let's get into it. Most of the Californians I work with aren't leaving on a whim. They're leaving high taxes, rising cost of living, congestion, and a sense they're not getting what they're paying for anymore. What I hear most often is some version of, we want a place where our kids can play outside, the schools are great, and we don't feel like we're just a number. This is usually their one big move, and they're determined to get it right. Let's start with the income tax because this is the biggest number. California's top marginal state income tax rate is 13.3%, and that rate also applies to capital gains. So if you sell a business, stock, or an investment property, California taxes that gain as ordinary income up to 13.3%. Tennessee has 0 state income tax and no state capital gains tax. For a lot of my clients, especially those retiring, selling a business, or cashing out equity, that difference alone is worth tens of thousands of dollars and sometimes far more in a single transaction. Now, property taxes. California's statewide effective property tax runs a little under 1% of assessed value, though many counties push higher than that when local bonds and assessments are added. Here in Williamson County, the property tax rate works out roughly $1.73 per 100 of assessed value, and homes in Tennessee are assessed at 25% of appraised value. Run the math on a $700,000 home and you're looking at a property tax bill that's meaningfully lower than the equivalent bill in most California counties, on top of already having 0 state income tax. Statewide, the median home price in California runs well over $700,000 compared to roughly $300,000 at $320,000 across Tennessee. Now, I want to be straight with you. Williamson County isn't the cheapest pocket of real estate in Tennessee. Brentwood and Franklin are premium markets, but even at Williamson County prices, most of my California clients are getting more home, lower property taxes, and 0 state income tax compared to what they're paying in a comparable home in coastal California. Combine that with a statewide cost of living that runs well below California's, and the math works out in your favor even before you factor in schools and lifestyle. So this is where I specialize, and it's worth understanding the differences. Brentwood is the most in-demand, lowest inventory market in the corridor, with average existing home prices in the $900,000s to $1 million plus range. It's the closest to Nashville and consistently has the least available inventory. Franklin offers more inventory than Brentwood, with average sales prices starting around $1.1 million, and gives you a mix of historic charm downtown and new construction on the edges. And Fairview is the strategic value alternative. Lower prices than Brentwood or Franklin, easier access, and still closer to the city than markets further south like Columbia or Spring Hill. Depending on your budget and priorities, one of these 3 is almost always the right fit. Here's what I see trip up out-of-state buyers most often. First, builder risk. Not every builder in this market is equal, and if you're 2,000 miles away, you need somebody who actually understands construction, watching quality on your behalf, not just showing up for the final walkthrough. Second, location regret. Picking a community that looks great in photos but doesn't actually fit your lifestyle, leaving you feeling isolated from the shopping, dining, and community you wanted. And third, just not having a clear process, trying to research floor plans, builders, and neighborhoods from across the country with no local guide. My background in construction and design, plus the fact that I've personally made this exact move, is built specifically to close those gaps for California buyers. So, the tax savings are real, the cost of living difference is real, and Brentwood, Franklin, and Fairview each offer a different version of life in Williamson County depending on what you're looking for. If you're planning a move from California and want help running your specific numbers or narrowing down the right market, click the link in the description to set up a call with me directly. And if you want a deeper look at Brentwood versus Franklin versus Fairview, those videos are in my link. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.